I actually did want to fake my death, and I met with a team of lawyers to see what the.
When was this?
This was back when I lived in L.A. This was
Okay.
about 14 or 15 years ago. Because if you think about it, nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever faked
Not that
their
we know
death.
of.
No, right. Nobody's ever done it and come back. And Andy Kaufman and Elvis, but that's all bullshit. And nobody's really ever done it. And I wanted to be the first one to do it, disappear for, say, 5 years minimum, and then come back. And then, show the whole process of what I had to do as a documentary. That would have been incredible. Where I had to go and how I had to deal with my bank accounts and who did I tell and who didn't I tell and could I trust. It would be a great documentary. What if you did fake your death and you died? That would suck because you couldn't come back to go,
You
look.
would not wind up in prison.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I couldn't attend my own funeral either.
You couldn't
with that,
do any of that fun
disguise,
stuff. God, that's dark.
I know, it is
I was
very
thinking
dark.
on the way over here, AJ, about this whole thing.
But that's why people think that they think this is the foreplay for that.
Well, yeah. And I don't think that's an insult. I mean, that's how you can get in people's heads.
Yeah, if I was planning to do that. But I mean, think about it. I would have to be in the hospital all the time like I was,
Or in another country.
How you even get admitted to a hospital if you're faking it?
You'd have to,
how do you fake 12% heart rate?
well, that came after, but you would have to be in another country.
Yeah.
And with no extradition, you'd have to be in a place where you could
create
a new identity.
Yeah, my thoughts were, because it was right after my first divorce, very depressed, on a cruise ship.
So this was in early,
This was
mid-90s?
80s.
Okay.
No,
Late 80s?
no, 90s. You're right,
Okay.
mid-90s.
Okay.
And
this was like when you're having Comedy Central specials
Yeah,
and stuff. Your
yeah,
career's
yeah.
going, starting to take
right,
off. Yeah.
and my wife just out of the blue went and left me. Out of the blue, and I thought a cruise ship, jumping off a cruise ship at night.
If you had been able to get away with it, would you have done it?
Yeah. But my whole thing was, you have to tell your mom, because that would kill her. That would kill my mom. That news would kill my mom. That's the only person I would worry about dying from.
Well,
the news.
when this all...
I know you'd be sad, but you wouldn't die from it.
I would be sad.
Norm was a fan of mine, too, until I shocked him in a chair once. I put him in.
You shocked Norm in a chair?
Yeah, I put him in a chair that happened to be just a shocking chair. And when I hit the button and he got that jolt, he wasn't my friend anymore.
Oh, man. How long ago was this?
This was years ago, but he was my biggest, he went from being my biggest fan to, after electroshock therapy, being my
That kind of is
least biggest fan.
That's an indicator there.
Yeah, it is. When you do something to somebody and they get so, like my daughter was like that. If I got her with a shocking deck of cards, she'd cry, and I would.
You have a shocking chair.
I have a
deck of cards.
My toilet seat's shocking in the bathroom. Seriously.
Okay. I'll wait.
Yeah, I won't do it. I won't do it to you. I pick. I have to pick very carefully who I check.
You, sir, are a prankster. It's an interesting movie to find where the spoiler is, by the way, with you. It's where the exact spoiler is, because there's so many twists and turns in your life and in the documentary.
People think that a lot of it was staged, and that's a compliment to me, man, because none of it was staged. None of it. There's only 2 or 3 things in it that were out of sync and didn't happen the way they really that they portrayed it in the documentary, and I didn't like those things. I'll tell you what they are. One thing they did was, when I went back on the road, they made the tour look kind of clumsy. Like, they showed me dropping the microphone. They showed me being introduced and not coming out on stage because I was dizzy. That never happened.
You did drop the mic, though, didn't you?
I did drop the mic, and I did say I was dizzy, but they used that to make it look like I didn't come out when I was introduced, and they showed the audience sitting there, like, waiting for me.